Party Monday, friends. Boo, 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 boo. Bow, bow, bow. It's business time. You know what? I'm down to just my socks. It's time for business. That's why they call it business socks. It's business. It's business time. Alright, I'm just going to quickly do the socials. I'm on fire today. Playing a bit of Gloomhaven. Just, carving up. Painting on Twitch. No. Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul. Boo ba da boo ba da ba da boo 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 ba da boo boo. Alright, I'm nearly done. Sorry. Okay. Have I got some exciting news for all of you? It is exciting, yes. Very fucking exciting. I'm going to show you how exciting it is. Maybe this won't work actually. Let me figure it out. I'll make it work. It's going to happen. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. He says, hopefully. Well, what about the furor over Cursed City, hey? What about the furor? Last week I sent a message to a mate of mine who said, oh yeah, there's a couple of copies in my local shop. I was like, oh, I like the models, maybe just pick me up a copy, whatever. It's fine. So she buys me the copy and it's in the mail on its way. Next minute, no more. No more anywhere. Hey Fred. Oh, that's it, it's done. Forever, no more. Classic. Alright, where's the old snipping tool? There it is. Okay, this is going to be great. Alright, this is working beautifully. I promise. It's worth it. It's all worth it. Maybe. Alright, here it is. Where did I fucking save it? I just did it. I'm so bad at this. I'm sorry, friends. It's just exciting. I want to show it. Okay, Faz. Is it not going to let me do a PNG? It doesn't want to have a PNG. Can I save you as a fucking JPEG? Oh, I can. Alright. Alright, here we go. Yes, I'm the best at this. G'day, Tip Top. Here it is. Look at this exciting news, friends. Hey, Tip Top. Tip Top's the one. Good on you, mum. G'day, Oogly. No, this is exciting. This is exciting times for me. For new friends to the stream, I've got a huge project planned, and I've been waiting for a long time, and the models are scheduled to arrive either tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday, so I can finally get started, and I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for it. So don't expect anything on the stream probably for a few weeks, because what I want to really do is build the diorama and make sure I've got models in all the right places. much like Mika does, with curves in all the right places, and see if we can get some idea of where everything's going to be. Then I'll start doing some painting. But it's fucking exciting. It's fucking exciting. Oh, this camera's frozen. Good start. Thank you. G'day, Ido Kalkman. What's happening, mate? Camera froze. Great stuff. But we're going to get into some painting now, so it should be fine. Oh, and everyone who wasn't on yesterday's stream, I fucking figured out how to do manual focus. I'm fucking pinging about it too. Roger, roger. All right. Boom! Thanks, Rob. Thanks, In Motion. Yes, I'm reasonably happy with how they're looking thus far. All right, so this is cool. So I've now got manual focus, so I can tweak the focus, which is great. But I do need to do this as well, and do this, and turn the exposure down a little bit. Oh, it's great stuff. I got this on lockdown. Cool. All right. So this guy's pretty fine for the moment. I don't want to do too much to him. I don't actually know what any of these guys' names are. Hammer Sandwich. This guy's fine. Winged Terror, whatever his name is. He's got a fair bit to go, but it's all right. We started this guy, chick, friend, so we're going to continue with her. It's a very nice day today, friends. It's a beautiful day, in fact, in Brisbane. And I'm feeling really, really positive about just life in general today. It's always great news when you see your fucking models you've been waiting for fucking months. So close. Yeah, and the nights are getting cool. Went for a run this afternoon. As I finished my run, it was just getting dark. So that's nice. Pretty soon I'll be running in the evening breeze. I enjoy that. I might do a little bit on this. So this is just a little thing I told my mum I'd paint for one of her friends at work who plays D&D. To explain to me how that works, but there you go. So I might just knock a little bit on that later on. Oh, I'm buzzing about for you. Buzzing. Yeah. All right. Let's do some painting. This month's giveaway is, what is it? 11 days away. This chick. So giveaway for this month, Glorious. There you go, 93 people. This is what I painted with the AK 3rd Gen last stream. And this, I think, is going to be next month's giveaway. These wood elves. Yeah, the AKs are pretty fine. They're not too bad. I played a couple of games. I like the vampires more, I think, mate. So, but yeah. I get all these things just to paint them, mate. I'm not that keen on the games that I'm like, yeah, I've got to fucking get it, man. Got to keep them forever. Good one, Oogly. Yeah, it was a weird one. I just got a text out of the blue. I talked to my mum and dad. They live not far from me, and they're pretty good chats, pretty good friendos. But yeah, that's the first time she's asked me to paint a model for someone in her workplace. Yeah, I have actually got a few new favourite colours. Ocean blue, really nice. Reminds me of coal black from P3. This one is probably my new favourite base coat for non-metallic metal, dark green grey. And there's a few others that are working their way in, so we'll see where it ends up. Yeah, it's a good colour. So the armour I'm doing right now is a mixture of Tenebrous Grey, which is this is the base coat, and then I've mixed blue and ochre to move it more into a greeny colour into this. G'day, Alex. Thanks, mate. And the reason I mixed those two is purely because I had them on my palette yesterday, and when I mixed one of them I was like, yeah, I want some more colour in there. So that's all. Fight for dominance. G'day, Chaotic Paradox. So for new friends to the stream, Mondays is traditionally Party Monday. So I invite you to pull out your ties, your party outfits, and share a beer with Big Deno on this glorious Party Monday. Excellent, excellent. That's the type of commitment we expect here. That it does. So yes, Ultima Thule is nearing the end of its run. They've unlocked all of their models in the Kickstarter, so pretty excited about them. I'm on the fence. How do we feel about the dioramas? Someone's got the link to the Kickstarter handy. Just pop it in the chat for everyone. Thanks, Minimef. Yeah, so there's the two big chariot diorama things that are obscenely large. Here's the thing I think about those, right? For the majority of display painters, fuck, that's a commitment. That is such a commitment of time to paint those things. I could knock one out in a couple of days, but for the majority of people, it's a lot to try and do. G'day, Shadow Ouvre. So it's interesting to see, we've seen quite a few of them recently. If you remember, Chimera did Apollo on his chariot. There was that was Chimera, and then Chimera also did their Amor Cortese diorama of the knight and the lady and the bard at the bottom. Yeah, we're just starting to see more of that sort of stuff, which is interesting direction for display. What are your thoughts? Okay, Rowie. Yeah, the Ferox is great. Yeah, that's the challenge, right? Echoes of Camelot is 12 models or 13 models or whatever the fuck it is. For most display painters, if they paint all of them, that will take them probably a year, maybe 6 months if they're quick. Or it's just such a big commitment of time for all those models. So I think what they're trying to do with some of those is just appeal to a broad audience with the variety of models, not expecting everyone to buy all of them. And obviously there'll be collector nuffies like me who want to have all the models. So, but it's just interesting, isn't it? Ha, Kirill. Kirill melts everyone's minds. All right. Oh, Topulus, are you rating me with a party of one? Wow. Are you the party? Kirill's box art was of the big ogre dude. Masculines is the dude riding the Ferox thing. Masculines, what a fucking legend. So it looks as though these models will be finished on Wednesday night stream, probably, barring a disaster. And then we will definitely start another model before we get into the Camelot, maybe two, depending on how we're going. So the current vote leader by a landslide was the Spira Mirabilis, a wise woman with her fingers dipped in goo as she rubs it across her face. So that is what we'll be painting next after these little friends. So I have a question. Any suggestions for how we can approach that painting? I have an idea in mind that I'll run past you, but I'm happy to hear some other ideas in case someone's idea is better than mine. In which case I'll do that and claim full credit. Never had an ibis fly in my room. Yeah, I'm not sure. I wasn't expecting it to win as convincingly as it did. I thought it might, because I really liked that Uther bust from Black Crow. Thought that might have been a shout. I usually throw one dog shit one in there every time just to see if people go for it, but yeah, so far, no luck. Not really dog shit, just, you know, not in the same ballpark as the others. So dark and gothic wise woman, interesting. Okay, Topulus, you up to speed on Falcon Winter Soldier now, mate? What's in the box? What's in the box? Yeah, we'll see. If it is that character, that'll be quite a divergence from the books. At this juncture, I think it's sort of almost too obvious for that to be the case. I expect it'll be that character is working for the power broker in some capacity, maybe. But yeah, it's exciting. Exciting times. Yeah, I'm expecting it will be that as well. Topolus. Topolus. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I read a lot of theories about her entrance and what it foreboded. Exciting. It's been good. It's been good seeing them in a different format. You know, just you know, the periodical, the weekly stuff is yeah, really interesting. This is the wise woman, friends. Hello. Hey, chum dubs. When you say GSP, are you talking about George St. Pierre, the dude who plays Batroc the Leaper, or are you talking about someone else? Yeah. Alex, no, an airbrush is absolutely not necessary. What the airbrush does, in my experience, is it speeds up the process, but I also generally don't recommend it for people that are starting out to try and dive into that side of things as well too quickly, because you're better off learning brush techniques, because even the best airbrushes in the miniature world generally still use a paintbrush for a lot of stuff. So starting your education on brushwork and how to do the fundamentals on brushwork is always what I would recommend before moving into trying to learn an airbrush as well, because it is a really a skill to use an airbrush that takes quite a bit of time to master. The way I use it anyway. The way that my mate Ben Leaper uses it is fucking nothing. Just base coat city up in here. Yeah, I will at some point doing something without brushes, without airbrush. It won't be soon. Yeah, maybe it will. I want to, yeah. I want to get through Camelot, and then I'll probably do some different stuff on stream, some out there stuff. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. True. Could very well pick it up in the space of a few days. Yeah, Alex, everyone in here teases me all the time. It's pretty normal, mate. Get on board. Get on board, have a tease. Cheers to that. Mondays are the best. Correct, Captain Longbow. Yes, this is from Crimson Court. This is one of the... I don't know her name. She's one of them. Vampire lady. Token lady vampire. Party Monday, mate. Next Party Monday. If you're not in your party gear, we'll all be very disappointed in you. So set your alarm nice and early and get your party gear on. Have a beer before work. Unless what you do is not allowing having a beer before work, in which case don't do that. Be safe. Be safe, buddy. Indeed, yes. I was very lucky. I just happened to be at the store when they rocked up, so managed to get one. Get my hot little hands on one. Well, this is going to be some fucking deluxe airbrushing, this one. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Love a cheeky day off. It's a public holiday on Monday next week, actually. Here in Australia. Well, actually, only here in Brisbane. It's not in every state. But yeah, beautiful Brisbane, we get it off, which is nice. Yeah, I've got no idea how I'm going to do this airbrushing. I've left myself a mountain of work. A mountain of skill. Skill work. Oh, thanks Tip Top Baker. Yeah, it's a pleasure for me to watch my own stream back as well. I enjoy it. What a classic I am. Just all time. Absolute all time. There's a couple of other good Aussie streamers, mate. Ben Layton, he does some streaming. He's alright at painting. Getting better. We had a fucking dude called what was his name? Big Wacko Jacko come on. He's like, oh, another big Aussie. I said, you're not as big as me, pal. Haven't seen him since. Don't know why. Nah, it's not Jacko. I know Jacko. Fuck, mate, that guy doesn't paint. He pays me to paint. So unfortunately, friends, we've reached a moment in time which I was dreading. It is the day when Mr. Nicker Jaguar and his wife, who both get on this stream and tease me like fuckheads, have both got 5,000 points up their sleeves to spend on you all know what. So I'm dreading it tonight. I don't know what they're going to make me sing. I imagine it's going to be terrible. My finger's been hovering over the band button all day. It's a sad day for me. So we may still just drop the band hammer at the last second. Would be good. Oh, we could be on for a very party Monday, friends. Dear oh dear. Don't do that, mate. Don't be that guy. Fazoid, only for you, mate. Only disabled them for you. They're not disabled, mate. I'm a man of my word. When I say I'll do my best to sing a song, if you fucking pay me to sing a song using imaginary made-up money that you earned from sitting here watching me gibber for however many hours. Does anyone know how many hours it takes to earn points? Because fuck me, it feels like every fucker and their dog's just got songs coming out the wazoo. £10 per 5 minutes. Yeah. Do subscribers get they double that, don't they? Oh, thanks, Moe70. I don't think I've turned them off or anything. I'll probably play a few games with them, mate. But yeah, I sell just about everything I paint, so just send me a message. I got some Beastmen there as well. I'm gonna paint, so I'm not that interested in the game that I'm like, gotta hang on to it. Gotta fucking play my games with them. It's a pretty cool place to be in, right? Like, back a long time ago, I used to put in heaps and heaps of effort on painting armies and stuff, and then you just slave away doing them, and then that's it. You know, you use them and you're like, yeah, this is the best, but you're really the only one who ever appreciates them. The effort that you put in, it's just this, yeah. So doing it this way, where I only paint stuff I'm excited about and just paint whatever and not worry about holding on to it, or it's neato. I like it a lot. Do you get $2.50 for rating? Cool. So the main reason you tune in is so you can get points which can only be spent to make me sing. Is that right? Am I hearing you correctly? Alright, I think we're almost at airbrushing time. The nerve-wracking time. This is going to be some delicate stuff. Oopsie. Boop, 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 boop. I'm getting excited about my ASMR stream, guys, in the hot tub. Been preparing for it. Making my sounds. Yep. It's going to be great. Get excited for that. Alright, let's do this. I didn't paint any Skaven Wishy. Did I? No, I've only done Wood Elves, Stormcast, and High Elves from Underworlds. Never did Skaven. I don't think, anyway. I paint so many models I fucking can't remember sometimes. No, I sold all that stuff. Giblets. I'm drinking an Old Speckled Hen, which is a distinctive English pale ale, and it's delightful. Yeah, so I sold every Warhammer army, every War Machine army, every Guild Ball team that I have. I think I may actually still have farmers, some farmers models up there. That's it. Oh, Giblet. If you're in Australia, they keep them at Dan Murphy's, mate. They're bangers. I rate them very highly. Yeah, awesome. Go Rumble. Rob, I just like painting models, mate. I probably say it too often, but I don't really think to myself, oh, that'd be good to paint on stream. I just think that'd be good to paint. So, probably the only thing I've been thinking about recently is that would be not good to paint on stream from my diorama. Like it's going to be a bit full on. So, whether or not people like that. We shall find out. Where are you, purple? I was actually, well, I wasn't experimenting, but I was seriously looking at like the detail I get on this camera, 4K camera. On my monitor, I've got a fucking gigantic monitor in front of me, and I was wondering how seriously you could use those two elements together, like if you're trying to do really fine detail stuff. I imagine that would be like another skill set, learning how to train your hand to move based on what you're seeing there as opposed to seeing there. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's Joe Skynet. That's Darren Han. He's one of the Chinese painters, probably that you're referring to. I'm almost tempted to give it a crack now, you know. I shan't. I just love different ways of doing things, eh? It's pretty cool. You can see so many different approaches to this hobby. I'm still tripping balls over Curse City, eh? Fuck. What were we talking about on the weekend? That it wasn't a thing anymore? I haven't used a magnifying glass, no. Nika Jags. I'm really very lucky. It is Party Monday, mate. Welcome. Tarask, that is the eternal question. Fortunately, there is a thing called 10 play which catches it all up. So I just love a cheeky little bit of 10 play on the weekend. Sit down, just spam through 4 or 5 hours of MasterChef. One of my favourite things. Love MasterChef. G'day, Plank. Stevie, you're killing me. I'm so worried about this. What is it? What are you doing? What are you doing? know if I know enough of the words. Hang on, I'll go and Google it. I'm fucking pork sorting this up. Yeah, these AK paints are very different through the airbrush, very different. I fucking love MasterChef, man. It's my favourite show. There's literally only about 3 things I watch on free-to-air television. One of them is MasterChef. Christina Laker. I nickname everyone from there. I called her Bucky. She had Bucky teeth. I loved her. She's my favourite. She was my favourite from 2 years ago. Is she really? Can I meet her? Oh my god. What are the lyrics to this? Is it literally just you sing the same thing over and over? I literally only know, does she do dinner parties? Well, invite me to one of her dinner parties, mate. Seriously, and if she's single, I'd like to have a crack. If she's not single, look, I'll be polite. I'm a bit disappointed. I'm gonna have to go redraw on It's Raining Men, but I will do this for you. It's raining men, hallelujah, it's raining men. Hey, hey, that's all I got. But you can have another crack. Oh, how's Sherry going, by the way? Tell her I said g'day. I watched this TV show a long time ago, right? This particular joke. I say things like that, wildly inappropriate things like that all the time. But I watched this show years ago called The Tick, the live action version of The Tick, and it's very, very funny. It's a very funny show. But there was this character in it that was played by Latino guy. Can't remember his name. But he was classic. He used to crack me up all the time. Anyway, he in like the first or second episode, he sits down and he's like, he's saying how his mate Diego's sister's really fucking attractive. He's like, oh, she's so fucking attractive and blah blah blah. Anyway, then Diego calls him. And he just picks up the phone and he goes, Diego, how is your sister? Every time I just fucking crack up. Every time I'm like, hey, how is she? Yeah, tell her I said hi. I just remember that fucking moment. Cracks me up. Alright. It's not my favourite amount of airbrushing I've done. The consistency of the AK paints is slightly different through the airbrush, so that's going to take a little while to get a handle on. In the meantime, we'll just continue being a mad dog and doing other stuff. Spoon. That was quite a good show, actually. Patrick Warburton. No, I didn't watch the new one. It was one of those times where I was like, I don't know if I want to spoil my memories of Alright, you got me. You have so many relationships in this life, only one or two will last. You go through all the pain and strife, you turn your past, it's gone so fast, and you're gone so fast. Oh. This fucking song used to crack me up. Oh. Okay. Hold on to the ones who really care. In the end, they'll be the only ones there. When you can all just start losing your hair, can you tell me who will still care? Yeah. Can you tell me who will still care? Oh, bop, tap, ba, do it up, ba, do tap, ba, do. Yeah, bop, tap, ba, do it up, ba, do tap, ba, do. Do you know, the worst bit about this is, that's not the only Hanson song I could actually remember the lyrics to. That's bad. It's bad. Thanks, Stevie. That was great. That was a great selection, actually. I love that song. Just remember, for every tear that falls from your eyes, 2 tears fall from mine, yeah. 2 tears fall from mine, 2 tears fall. My Peter Andre knowledge is okay. Salt the wound. Thanks, mate. I'll actually show you right now, Alex. Paulie, it is one of the new principals. It is one of the new vampires. Paulie principal, yes. Thanks, Salt the wound. I apologise. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how you do a smooth blend without an airbrush, and I'll explain how it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this, which is a wine red, and I'm going to mix in a little bit of, I don't know if I can remember what colour I highlighted with actually, maybe this and this. That doesn't look right, that's too blue. Try again, bit of this, bit of that. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this little section here. So the way I approach it is I over contrast the area. So we're going to do lots of transitions. It's not necessary. The reason I put it in my mouth, there's never paint on it when I do it. Other people do it with paint on it. It's after I wash the brush out, I bring the tip back together with my mouth. It's very, 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 very quick, and doesn't actually get anything in my mouth, so he says. Trying to convince himself. So this is just heavily, hey Tobes, this is just heavily contrasted, and you can see I'm not worrying about smooth blends. All I'm doing is trying to put paint in the right spot. This is the key part of any painting. You don't even have to really be doing smooth blends. If you paint in the right spot, you'll be fine. G'day, Sharkwald. Yeah. In about the gone. In about the not there. In about the gone. You know about the night there, yeah. Till you lose your hair. Oh no. G'day, Valhalla. Is it still on my playlist now? Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do another layer. And this time it's going to be even higher value, so brighter colours, contrast, more contrast. I'm excellent, mate. Thank you, Valhalla. So again, what we're doing here is we are just focusing on the highlights where we want these lights to be. So this all looks very, very rough, and that's okay, because the only thing that matters is that the lights are where we want them to be. So when you're looking at the model, like from this angle, do you see all the highlights in the right spots, etc.? Yes, yes. And I'll explain why. So when you do a glaze, which is what we're going to do next, what you're actually doing is reducing the overall contrast. So you need to over contrast so that you get enough contrast in your piece. So this is starting to look pink now, right? And that's normally when people go, oh, it's not working, I stop, I scoop, I start something else, I do something different. Go pink, mate. Once you go pink, I'm not even going to finish that. G'day, Wampa. My day was excellent, mate, and I am about to grab another beer because it's Party Monday and we just sang Mbop by Hanson. Yeah, we'll go one more actually. We'll go one more little bit. Yep. The real key when you're painting miniatures, and I should caveat this and say this is the way I paint miniatures, everyone has a different approach, but the real important thing is having enough contrast. G'day, Mappo. When you hear that word thrown around, contrast, generally when people say that, they mean value contrast, and value contrast is a variation between light and dark. So what we're doing here is we're creating this value shift between light and dark, and then we're going to fix it and make it look better. I promise, he says, hopefully. You'll see how we avoid the pink, mate. My advice is generally don't avoid the pink. It's the best part. Being a little bit inappropriate tonight. Cool, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take some of that wine red, again, the main colour. You can see I'm mixing it here on my palette, and we're going to add a glaze medium to it. You don't have to add a glaze medium, you can just use water. I use a glaze medium because I have a lot of experience with it. So what we do now is we're actually going to blend using the glaze medium and the thin down paint over the top. You don't even have to be really neat here. The only thing you want to do is this is not a wash, right? So you don't want to like blob this on and have it sink into the recesses. That's too much paint on your brush. You can see here that it looks like there's no paint on my brush. It's basically like a wet brush. You want to actually control where this goes and how much goes there. So that's what a glaze is. Now you can do glazes that are thinner. Yeah, it was the base colour, Sleepy Slang, yes. That is exactly a great way to describe it, Alex, yes. Now, what this is actually doing, and this is a little bit of theory and why the airbrush works the way that it does too. What you're actually doing here is you're distributing little spots of pigment all over the area. Now, the spots of pigment, when you zoom in super micro levels, lots of tiny little dots of pigment. And so by glazing these with a watered down over the top, what you're doing is you're putting lots of tiny little dots all over it, and you're actually filtering the color. But you're also diffusing the transitions. So if you have a look here in this little chest area here, you can see that transition doesn't look as like stark as it did before. So we can do another little layer now where we go in with another little bit of this. right? And all of a sudden, it's starting to look more like a red, less like a pink. But we've still got that contrast of light to dark. So fundamentally, what I've just explained to you is the best, the quickest method for creating smooth transitions, and it's glazing. But how you use that glazing is up to you. Some people will use this type of dilution, and they will treat this as your only painting that you do. So they will do many very dilute layers of this over a thing, and it will filter the color, and it will slowly bring the color up, and it will slowly add saturation, but it doesn't do it quickly. Yep, more layers of glazes will do a smoother transition. The only caveat, mate, and this is the thing that you've got to be aware of, is every time you do a glaze, what you're doing is, if you've got a white and you've got a black, and they're sitting on opposite ends of the value scale, so white's the lightest, black's the darkest, every time you glaze a mid-tone over the top, what you're doing is you're bringing the white closer to the middle, and you're bringing the black closer to the middle, because you're putting a colour that's in the middle over the top of them. And if you did that over and over and over, eventually you will meet in the middle with just the base colour. So every time you do a glaze, you are reducing the level of contrast that you actually have. And yes, that's one of the ways you can create texture that looks really good, is just lots of thin glazes. So this method works with a variety of paints, with a variety of colours. Contrast paints are really cool for glazing. I use them a lot through my airbrush because they are transparent, so you get that same filtering effect without necessarily reducing the value contrast as much. So that can be quite cool, but be wary of contrast paints because they have the tendency to act like a wash. So they will have the properties of a wash. So if you don't remove enough paint from your brush, you won't have the effect of doing a filter. You will have the effect of doing a wash, which will reduce the impact of what you're trying to do. So this is exactly what I do when I use an airbrush. But when I do it with an airbrush, I can do it significantly quicker. And I also find that I can then, do what Christoph does, and like add tiny little spots of color and light, and just tweak everything around. So what you can see now is we've got color that looks a lot more like this. Not quite the same yet, but we can do it. Just more glazes, more layers. So I use contrast paints all the time, right? Don't think I'm not a fan of contrast paints, because long-time viewers of the stream will absolutely confirm that I love the shit out of them. But you have to understand what they're doing, and you have to make sure that you use the properties of the paints to your advantage. Which isn't to say I do that every time, but I think I've got a pretty good handle on them. So. Yeah, it's a very good observation, Medium F. When you don't know what you're doing and where you want to place the lights, it probably will take you right out of your comfort zone and straight into the panic zone, because you're going crazy, just straight straight colours, and lots of potential for what feels like mistakes. But the more practiced you get with it, and the more confident you get with doing things like just balls deep colours and learning how you can fix your mistakes, I think it's a very powerful technique. Very nice. That's Frog Jim's absolutely on the money there. If all you get right is where you place your lights, your model's still going to look pretty good. Don't even have to have smooth blends, as long as you get the lights right. Just grab another beer, friends. Party Monday. Caldwell does the same sort of thing I do, but he does it with stippling. Stipple. Can you tell me? Oh, I know you can, but you don't know. Can you tell me your flower's gonna grow? Hello, Anabolic. What can I sing for you? Oof. I have to Google it to see if I know it, but off the top of my head, I don't think I know that. Wow. I can do another Hall & Oates song, if you'd prefer. Nah, can't do that one. Don't even know if I've even heard that song actually. But I can do another Hall & Oates song. Oh, I don't know that one either. I know Rich Girl and I know You Make My Dreams Come True. I know those two. Are you talking about this red? Looks smooth. It's super smooth doing this way. This is Pro Painter secrets, mate. I'm gonna get evicted from the Pro Painter Hall of Fame. You don't get 3 cracks out at Anabolic. I'm gonna have to just do Rich Girl. You're a rich girl and you've gone too far, but it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. You're a rich girl. Don't you know that it's wrong to take what he's giving you so far gone? on your own, but you'll never be strong. Whoa, you're a rich girl. All right, I'll tell you a fun story. It's actually not that fun. No, I'm not going to tell it. It's not great. What I want you got, it might be hard to handle. Like a flame burns a candle feeds a flame. Yeah, yeah, what I got, full stock of thoughts and dreams that scatter. And if you pull them all together, and I can't explain. Oh yeah, well, you. You make my dreams come true. Well, you. Very good, Space Toy. Yeah, it does work, mate. I haven't been pre-editing these streams and making it look like it works when it's actually just fakery, mate. I'm serious. It fucking works, pal. Not having a lend of you. Alright, so this brush, Phazoid, wow. Must be something I've done to you, mate. What did I do to you? I don't think I did anything to you. I don't even know how to turn off Demo Bucks. What you've probably got going on there, Phazoid, is you have lost your mid-tone. Generally when people have a lifeless looking skin, looking pasty and pastel, it's because you've taken the value too high. And as I've said multiple occasions, adding value is adding white to a color, and adding white is also desaturating your color. You are reducing the saturation, which is what turns it into those pastel colors. So if you are struggling with your colors looking your skin tone's looking lifeless, it's because you've taken it too high value. You need to glaze some mid-tones back in, which then of course creates the same problem if you don't, g'day Godzilla, you have the same problem of not having enough contrast. So maybe try using a colour that skews more towards yellow for your highlights, which is a little bit less saturation killing. But yeah, what you are talking about is the eternal struggle that many painters face to get interesting looking colours. Ice yellow is good. Sunny skin tone is probably a better one. Yeah, I was just going to say this brush. I'm starting to lose confidence in this brush. So it's been how long ago did we get it? 2 months, maybe? A month? And yeah, we're starting to lose a little bit of reliability, which is a little disappointing, but it's fine. Yes, you could use purples. So teal is both a green and a blue. Complementary colour of those two colours is red or orange. So you could go into deep reds into the shadows. But yeah, I like purple. Purple in shadows is always good and interesting. Bit of perps. Oh, you're a rich girl. Yeah, not as long as I would expect out of a Winsor & Newton. I was only getting about 3 months out of Winsor & Newton anyway, so it's not too bad, I suppose. We'll see. We'll see if it pulls itself together. Pull yourself together, little dickhead. Medium F's answered the question pretty well there. There's times I do use it. There's 2 reasons I don't use it as an awful lot. There is a professional painter who actually almost makes a living out of dry brushing. His name's Bohun. There's a Patreon if you want to check it out. Nice dude. I met him when I was overseas. And yeah, he uses dry brushing in like really, really advanced paint jobs, like elite level fucking god tier paint jobs. I'll do that in that color. You can absolutely use dry brushing in really top end painting. Yeah, but Medium F's described it really well there. You lose control because you are not positioning the colours exactly where you want them. You're letting natural variation create the visual interest and create the highlights and the shadows, and that can be fine. It can work perfectly well. And in some instances, Bohun, B-O-H-U-N, I think his actual name is Bogus Studnicki, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he does great stuff with dry brushing. He just dry brushes like fucking crazy on everything. Yeah, so on this one I already got. On dry brushing, I use it on bases sometimes. Yeah, Elroy's got a bit of dry brushing. Yeah, he's good. I'll follow him. You should be able to find him on Instagram. Let me see if I can find him. Good dude. But you'll never be wrong. Wow, you're a rich girl and you got to. There he is. He's got cheeky 20,000 followers. He's going alright. There he is. Good work, Paul. Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul. Yep. Boys are beating me to it. Yeah, really, really great, innovative, beautiful stuff. Predominantly dry brushing. He's one of the Polish guys, so he's into the hyper-realistic... Polish? I think he's Polish. Yeah, hyper-realistic stuff. Let me see if I can find you a picture of his style. Yeah, he's awesome. I love him. There's so many great artists out there, friends. So many. You guys are stuck watching me. Suck shit. I feel like this is not the colour I used. Oh well. It is now. Yeah. Again, the the thing that I always come back to is, do I want to spend a fuck ton of hours achieving XYZ result? Because there's another guy who's a fellow called Flamion, who's also a Polish dude, who just does ridiculous shit, right? Just ridiculous. Yeah, that is so true. There is so many fucking painters out there that just make me go, what the fuck? And I just love it. Like, I find it so inspiring to think, wow, there's so much further for me to go and learn and develop. So many new techniques I can try, so many colours I can experiment with. It's exciting. Yeah, I've said this about Colwell before, and I sort of feel similarly about Flamion. He's almost too perfect, and it feels a little bit sterile, like he's missing some life or something. I don't know. Am I back? Cool. Don't know what happened there. My monitor just had a little spaz out or something, but we're still alive. We're still painting. Probably. Alfonso, I'll fuck you up. He found out. Alfonso came out. He's hunted me down. That's the first time I've had a dropout like that. That's weird. What a shame Flick's not here. I would like to ask him what happened. Just had some encoding issues, some description. But it's okay, we're back painting. Well, I was still painting. Telling a story. It was my best fucking story I've told in months, probably. None of you will get to hear it. That's not true. That wasn't. I do have some. Yes. On my Twitter. Just in case you're not aware, most of you probably are. My Instagram tends to be pretty straight up and down. I just post one picture a day, or one picture every couple of days, about the same time. Like clockwork, monotonous. And on Facebook, I just post finished projects and not much else. On occasion, if it's been a big project, I'll do a little bit of a work in progress shots and stuff, but generally not much happens on Facebooks. Twitter is the real me. I post about my little board games. I post all sorts of ugly work in progress shots. Less so now that I'm streaming, because most of my work in progress is on here. But if you want to get the real Deno experience, the OnlyFans experience, it's on Twitter, friends. So. That Illidan bust resulted in some really funny posts on my Facebook page, actually. Because there's a lot of Warcraft nerds out there in the world. I myself am one of them. But I'm not as into it as some people are. Anyway, so when I post stuff on my Twitter, I'm always just like, here's this guy and his sticks, or whatever. And so I said, when I posted my work in progress of Illidan, I said, here's this guy with his green glowy swords things, because they're not really swords. Had about 8 guys jump in there and correct me, and they say, well, actually, those are called Warglaves of Azeroth. And I said, they look like green glowy sword stick things to me, mate, so that's what I shall call them. The fans weren't happy. G'day, Vander Bruce. Yeah, we'll get the hot tub stream going soon, guys. Who wants me to write their name on my shirt? I'm absolutely tripping balls about my fucking Camelot, by the way. Holy shit. It feels like I've been waiting for it forever. Look, the Well Actually crowd, they genuinely mean well. They are passionate about something. They're trying to share that passion with you in a way that is completely unwelcome, and they just generally don't get that. So usually I just don't engage. Just be like, thanks, man. But every now and then, e.g. Matt Varnish guy, I just can't help myself. Just like, you're a fuckwit, mate. You're a fuckwit. You're a rich girl, and you've gone too far. You know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. It's a bitch girl. So I will just suggest, it's very, very, very uncommon for you to ruin something with varnish. Usually, caveat, you can recover it. The way you do that depends on what your problem is. So if you have frosting, you can usually get some olive oil and rub the frosting off with olive oil. speckling, you can usually recover with a layer of gloss varnish. See you, Edo Kaufman. Thanks for stopping by, you superstar. And then repeat a layer of matte varnish over it. It depends on the problem, but there's usually ways you can correct a poor varnish without your model being fucked. Yeah. Yeah, just, I don't know how to send me a pic actually. Somehow. Somewhere over the rainbow, you'll be able to send me a picture. Give it a tester. Don't just fucking dunk it in olive oil. But if you if you get like a little cotton tip, dip it in some olive oil and just rub it on a little bit of the frosting, it usually recovers it. And then you can do another layer of matte varnish over the top. It usually fixes it. Yep, perfect. Yep, drop it in the pan, sizzle, make sure the oil's hot. Yeah, get it done. You'll be fine. So let me just very clearly express that I've never tried the olive oil because I've never had varnish that bad. But the person who told me was Raphael Pica from Massive Voodoo, and he did have it happen. So I do trust him. And I have shared that with some other people and they did it and it fixed it. So I'm confident it works, but I have never first-hand experience. So in terms of would it work with other oils, I would imagine so, but so you guys probably know many of my inspirations, the painter inspirations. So Riccardo Agostini, Francesco Farabi. Got to meet those guys at Monty a few years ago, and they were really lovely, very nice to a big gooby Australian. But I found out this, and I didn't know this, but they're absolute foodie buffs. They're absolute nutters for food. So I became friends with Riccardo on Facebook after that Monty. He doesn't post much on Facebook, old Riccardo. But what he does post is fucking pictures of steaks that he's cooked for like 12 hours. And he just, fuck, they look good. And he talks about like the different levels of fucking, I love food. G'day, Benny. Going alright, mate. I was telling everyone they should. There's a dude called Tip Top Baker. He was checking out the stream before. I told him he should come out and check out yours because you're another Australian painter, and you're pretty good. And he said, "Yeah, sweet. I'll go check that guy out too." But he might not have actually said that. So. I do love a sous vide. Sous vide just about anything. Can't really go wrong. What am I doing? Yep. Yep, I just got this colour out for some reason. Better do something with it. Hi Tip Top. Tip Top's the one. Good on you, mum. Little Aussie joke there for my Aussie friends, such as Tip Top and Ben. TikTok. Oh man, I love, every now and then I get fucking cooking videos pop up on my Facebook feed, and it'll just be like, just some dude cooking on a rock. He's just got a hot rock, and he's just got this fucking steak that's this big, and he just fucking hammers it with fucking salt and pepper and this massive slab of butter, and he just fucking cooks it on the rock, and you're like, oh. Alex, I will not be judging you too hard, mate. Please know that all of my feedback will always be very aggressive, but I try to cater my feedback for the level that a painter is on. So, here is Alex. Good on you, champion, for posting a picture. Well done. So there's a lot of things on here that I like. I really like the level of contrast you've got in your green. So I can see blue all the way up to a yellow, which is great. The problem is that it starts to look more yellow than green. So you've gone too heavily into a yellow, and it's taken the colour away from the green that it's supposed to be and into that yellow. You're also looking at a very saturated colour. And if you look at the skin tone of the turtles, the Ninja Turtles, they're usually not quite as saturated as that, depending on what you're watching. They're usually a little bit more muted. So, the chest plate's pretty cool. Overall, I think it's a really nice job. With the placement of the lights, there's a few things you could improve. With the harmonising of the piece as a whole, you could improve. But yeah, certainly the gloss varnish is a challenge that I think you need to try and tweak. I would suggest getting a little bit of this gear. AK Interactive Ultra Matte Varnish. You can paint it on with a brush. It doesn't need to go through an airbrush. I use it through an airbrush, but you can just paint it on with a brush. Works a treat at completely killing all of the shine. So give that a try if you want, or just pick it up and move on. You'll be fine either way, mate. Good on you, champion. Party Monday, mate. Get into it. It's fucking not even fuck spiders, Benny. Come on, mate. So, I'll maybe just do a very quick colour theory course. So if you've heard this before, I apologise. This is just some fundamentals of colour theory for everyone. So every colour that you have that exists in the world has three sort of rough properties. So the first property that you have is the value, the hue. So the hue is where you find the colour on the colour wheel, right? So you have, red, green, blue. These are all hues. And if you have a look all the way around the colour wheel, you don't tend to see any sort of variations in the colour. You just have pure colour, That's your color. That's the hue of the colors. So if you mix green and yellow together, you're going to have a more yellowy green. That's its hue. If you mix blue and red together, you're going to have purple. That's its hue. So that's the first one. It's pretty straightforward. The second property that colors have is the value. So every color that you paint with will either be a high value color or a low value. And if we look at this model in black and white, and this is the best way to look at these things, boom. And what you can see is we have values for each of these colors. So the red, even though it's quite red when you look at it, it's quite a dark value color. So every time we do that glaze over the color, what we're doing is we're reducing the value, and you can see here what this looks like. And so the highest value areas on this are from these colors, the whites, the golds, and the skin tone. So value is basically where it sits on a light to dark scale, where white is the lightest and black is the darkest. So the final one, which is the trickiest one to explain and the most important one, is saturation. So basically, if you took a pure intense blue and you mixed in some grey into that colour, then you have a less intense blue, right? It becomes less intense. So this is a colour called dark Prussian blue. It's a fairly intense blue, right? If we look at this colour, this is called dark sea blue. They're both still blue, but this one is much greyer. So this is a desaturated colour, and this is more saturated. Something like this is pure saturated intense colour. Grey, so the reason I use the grey to explain it is because when you have a grey colour, you're desaturating, but white and black are both greys. So white is a grey with no black mixed in, and black is a grey with no white mixed in. So every time you add those colours to your paint, what you're doing is you are increasing the value, but you are decreasing the saturation. You're making the colour less intense and less powerful. So you need to understand that all three of those elements are fighting each other when you're painting. So if you want to highlight and create enough value contrast, then you need to take the colour up into a light colour. But if you add too much white, then what you do is you lose saturation. So this green area is an example of an area where we've got a value contrast from light to dark, but we've still got a saturated colour as the highest value highlight. Whereas if you look at these things, these are less saturated. These are actually more towards grey. And that's actually creating a contrast between the desaturated area and the saturated area. So the whole point of understanding all of these elements is to create contrast. So the whole when you look at a pro miniature painter's work and you just go, fuck, this is fucking legit, it's because they've got contrast. And that is contrast between value, where they've got light and dark areas on the model that make each other more apparent. But you've also got saturated contrast, where you've got contrast between greys and blacks, and then the more saturated intense colours. G'day, Thor and Space Cow. And you can also have contrast between colours, complementary colours, contrasting colours. Those can create interest. And finally, you can have other sorts of contrasts as well, things like warm and cold contrasts, texture and smooth, things like that. So every time you're painting a model, and this is like, I'm trying to be very basic, but also give you some understanding about how much there is you can learn. Every time you paint a model, you want to sort of sit down and think, well, what area do I want to be high value? what area do I want to be low value? And usually your face, this sort of area, if you're painting a bust like that, that's the area you want to be highest value, because that's the area that you're drawn to. So if we use this guy as an example, the highest value piece on this is his head, his hair. That's the highest value. So that's sort of the area that you're drawn to. Then you need to think about, well, how can I contrast between cold and warm? How can I contrast between colors, etc., etc. So there's a lot of things to think about in creating contrast. Being able to implement that knowledge and understand what all that stuff I just said means in practice requires you to just fucking do some painting, mate. So get in there, have a paint, have a go, make some fucking mistakes, do some shit, learn, keep learning, keep going. You'll be fine. You're doing a good job, mate. Thus endeth the lesson. And Benny is a great example of someone who started painting models, I don't know, whenever he started, but at the start of the year he was dead set shithouse. And he's still shithouse, right? But he just paints a lot more. I think there's a lesson in that for all of us. Fuck, I'm funny sometimes. But it is not this day. This day, you paint. Oh, look, someone link him the article, please. What you're doing right now, mate, what you're doing right now, Alex, is a very, very, very common mistake. Trap for unwary punters. And it just has to do with the way that human beings learn. And to just explain it very, very simply, try and learn too much, if you try and reach too far, you won't actually learn anything. You'll just get freaked out and you won't figure out anything. So instead, what you should try and do is just make little steps. Yeah, that's great advice from Rob there. Just little steps. Just try and make one thing better than your last. Paint one aspect of what you did better than your last one. Just baby steps, and that's actually the key to getting better. It's just constant repetition, practice, repeating yourself, learning from your mistakes over and over. The only thing you can do to not get better is not paint and spend too much time trying to learn. And I fucking see it all the time. Motherfuckers sign up for a Patreon. Yeah, this is going to help me be better. No, fuck with painting's going to help you be better. Maybe do that. Mate, it's criminal, mate. It's fucking criminal because, and yeah, it's again when you understand human nature, it's, you know, you can understand why advertising works, why advertising exists, and why things are the way they are. Patreon exists because people want the silver bullet. They want to be able to just go, cool, I can do that now, I'm the best. Very few people want to put in the effort. They just want that to get handed to them on a platter. We love it. We lap it up, mate. Anyone Anyone. Yep. That is absolutely spot on, Mini-Meth. It's just baby steps. Just like learn at your own pace. You're never ever gonna be able to paint like the best dudes in the world without just practicing. I was hanging shit on Benny before. He's a great example. Like some of the recent stuff he's been cranking out has been actually legitimately awesome. Like stuff that I would be proud to say that I'd painted, and he's just painting. He's just fucking painting all the time. That's all. Nothing else. All it is. Just get stuck in. The only thing you can do that will make you an actively worse painter is not fucking paint. Alright, sorry Ben, let me you're a dickhead. You're a dickhead. No, I thought the doors are great. The wizard's shaping up to be fucking glorious. You're doing some good shit, man. And I'm going to claim the majority of the credit. Thank you. Yeah, don't strip your models. Seriously, that's another trap for unwary punters. Because I feel like what you're doing when you're stripping is you're going, this wasn't good enough. And that's just straight up wrong, because what it was doing was teaching you how to be good enough. So actually, it was doing exactly what it was supposed to be doing, and you've taken its purpose away. Sometimes I like to look back through my old works of stuff that I've done and realise that I'm significantly better than I was. The stuff that Benny's doing now is the sort of stuff I was doing about three years ago. And he probably paints more than I do, or more than I did back then, because I had a girlfriend. So, pretty soon he's going to be better than me. Hey, Peachy! Hey! Meow! What's happening? Come here. My cat's come home for a visit. She's been visiting a lot recently. Hey! Hey! You alright? What are you doing? Off you go. I've got to buy you some good food, I know. I'm a dickhead. I keep fucking forgetting. Sorry, mate. There you go. It's the best I can do for you. Oh, fuck, I keep forgetting. Yeah, I love animals. Your problem, Benny, is that whilst you're painting, I'm also painting, motherfucker. Bring it. Bring the pain! No, Alex, I am an absolute fuckwit, mate. I am one of the world's biggest wankers. You must have just caught me on a good day, pal. Let's see how close we can get. Nah, can't hack that. What about this? Can hack that. What about this? That's pretty good. This guy's my favourite model of the ones to paint. Man, I really, really, really dislike the coloured plastic. I can never tell just how much undercoat I've put on, if I've put on enough, and I tend to just go a little bit heavy. Very annoying. Party Monday. Speaking of best friends, if you weren't on yesterday's stream, I had my best friend with me, Hugo, my little dog mate. What a guy. What a guy he is. He's the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep him down. He's the best around. Well, this guy's gonna have a lot of gold, I think. Probably for the best. We've got to think about the rocks, haven't we? Oh. He was only on for a brief minute, mate. He didn't miss much. He just popped his head up when I picked him up. And he had a little cry, actually, when I was painting. He was like, "Oi, fuckhead, come and play with me." He literally picked up his rope and brought it over. Little guy. Brushes are very important, full stop. But they increase in value the more you paint. Like, I reckon when you're first starting out, having a great brush will certainly make things easier, but it's not essential. Whereas when you level up, you start wanting to really get better, you'll notice a better brush, what it does. Peach. Gotta go to the shops tomorrow. Buy some food. I'd hate for her to come home and not have any food next time. She'll fucking disown me. With brushes, there's two components, three or four attributes to a brush. The size of the well, which is how much paint is kept down here in the belly of the brush, in the belly of the beast, is important, because it will let you keep painting a lot without having to go back and forth between your palette. Another common mistake for new painters is they use a smaller brush. Oh, Benny. I showed this before. It might still be on, actually. Check this shit out. Oh, it's not working. Well, they're arriving tomorrow, or maybe Wednesday. They went through Sydney Customs, and they are en route to the Brisbane packaging facility. Normally when that happens for stuff, it's usually the next day. So I am excited. Yeah, common mistake for starting out painters is they use a smaller brush. Oh, it's a great week, man. It's a fucking great week. And I get Curse City coming too. A couple of days after I find out it's now not fucking going to be remade, and I'm sitting on a fucking gold mine. I know you got to paint the models and sell it for thousands. Thousands! The second component of a brush that's important is how quickly the bristles snap back. It's called the snap. And that's pretty much it. When you have a shit brush, you notice that the bristles are not very responsive. They tend to splay out a lot. Really what you're looking for out of your brush, champion, is that it can carry a bit more paint than probably what you're expecting, but that the tip is very fine. Like my girlfriend, you want that tip to be fine as hell, mate. Mini Mess dishing out all the great advice tonight. Mini Meth, where are you from, mate? Are you on Twitter? Okay. I had another one of those moments where I torched a guy for being an absolute peanut on Twitter. And his name was Alex. And he lived in the UK. So I hope it's not you. It's unlikely to be you based on what you've just said. Here's what happened. My friend Chris Stratford, affectionately known as Stratty, which is pretty much the main way that people in Australia get nicknames, is when their last name is something that can be abbreviated. Painted some pretty cool Stormcast. And I retweeted him and said, "These are cool, man." He'd just done some neato airbrushing stuff. And this particular chapo from the UK, also named Alex, replied back with a tweet to Chris that said, "Oh, see you, mate. You're a champion." That said, "Hey, man. Nice undercoating." And it was a very passive aggressive comment, and it was basically saying the painting that you have done is like, see ya Wampa, enjoy your painting, mate. He was doing like some OSL and doing some like crazy lighting effects, and he was pretty chuffed with them, and I thought they looked really cool. They were really striking on the tabletop, they would have been. So I just replied and said, I think what I said was, "Congratulations, mate, you've won today's Fuckwit Award." As I said, Twitter's the unvarnished Big Dano experience. Which is probably why Alfonso follows me on Twitter. But anyway, then he started defending himself. He's like, no, I'm just sick of seeing fucking this sort of paint jobs, man, and people trying to fob it off as finished. It's just. I said, mate. At that point, I was like, I'm getting angry here. I'm getting really angry, and I'm probably better off just tapping out. But unfortunately, my Oz Machine bros found out about it, and they piled in on the poor guy. So he woke up. He lives in the UK, so he woke up fucking to about 17 Australians just fucking giving it to him. And I felt bad for a tiny iota of a fraction of a second, and then I was like, yeah, you know what? Don't be a fuckwit, mate. Like, it's not that hard. If you think something's shitty, just go, hey man, I really like the effort you've put in, but this sort of style doesn't work for me. Great, thanks buddy. Or better yet, don't comment. But literally all you're doing when you post something like that is being a fuckwit. Like, you're just deliberately antagonising someone to get a reaction. It's just fucking fuck off, mate. Anybody got time for that? So yeah, I think I might have posted a few more comments. I saved some screenshots of it because I was like, what the fuck is this guy smoking? Seriously. Because I did a little profile stalk afterwards. I was like, man, surely this guy's got to be miserably unhappy with his life or something. And the thing that I took a screenshot of was he posted a comment about 3 days before, because this is right in the peak lockdown. And the comment was, guys, it's really tough times out there. Let's just be nice to each other. You fucking wanker. So I got concerned there that the Mini MF, the kind and wonderful gentleman who's in here posting great feedback and great song choices and having a wonderful time in the stream, may have been the guy that was an absolute fuckwit. And that would have been disappointing for me. Yeah, it was just like an ego thing, right? It was just, he got upset that people don't like his stuff as much as they liked some airbrush stuff. Seriously, mate, just fucking put your head in. Oh, I was so enraged at the time, eh? I was like, what the fuck? Mate, let's just congratulate some guy for doing a paint job, mate. Like, let's congratulate someone for doing some painting. You know? Oh yeah, Concept Armies. That was him. You remember it, Thor. Spot on. He was just a peanut. He was just being a peanut. And I'm sure he's a nice guy in real life, right? But fuck, mate. Real life and the internet are the same thing. If you're going to be a fuckwit in real life, I'd say, mate, you're being a fuckwit. If you're going to be a fuckwit on the internet, I'm going to say, you're being a fuckwit. One thing that people who are on this stream that know me in real life will say is that I am identical to this. In real life, you just fucking be nice to people, guys. Just fucking be nice. It's not hard. There's enough shit in the world. I'll cop it if you're having a bad day and you make a mistake. That's alright. We all make mistakes. But just be nice. I'm going to interpret that as, don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, I just don't think you'll understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, you might do something and kill this man. Yeah, English kid, I am absolutely blunt as fuck. I will tell it how it is. And that can be interpreted in a way that people don't like. And I will also say that my current perspective on life and the way that I try to approach life and things comes from a place of not always getting it right in my younger days. And so learning from that and trying to become a better human being, which took a while and is an ongoing process. But I think many people don't tell the truth for fear of upsetting people. They don't want to have a difficult conversation. They don't want to confront problems. They'd much rather pretend those problems don't exist. And that's just a lot of my job is having difficult conversations and just being like, hey mate, X, Y, Z, what you're doing isn't good enough, or I need you to do this, and trying to frame that in a way that's constructive. And you just realise, yeah, when you're younger you're a fuckwit. Try to be less of a fuckwit. Dunno. I've seen that before. Tone's important, right? Someone says to me, hey man, I wanted to understand your thought process behind why you judge this X, Y, Z. I'd be like, absolutely mate, I'm happy to talk about it. It did, Space Toy, sorry mate, yeah. I don't know what happened actually. My screen's still a bit funked out. But if someone's like, that's fucking bullshit that you gave me a fucking bronze or whatever, I'll just be like, cool mate, piss off. The weird thing about this, right, like, fuck, I don't want to represent that I'm a fucking god among people, because I'm very much not. I make a lot of mistakes. I say the wrong thing. I do the wrong thing a lot. I just try to come back to, don't be a fuckwit. So if you do something that makes you look like a fuckwit, just go and say, hey mate, I'm sorry that I said that. And learn from that mistake. I have made a vast and large number of mistakes, both professionally, both painting. And every time I make a mistake, it's an opportunity to learn and develop and become a better human being. And I think we can all agree that being a better human being is not a bad thing. There's enough fuckwits. She did a really good cover of Jolene from whatever her name is, Dolly Parton. It's very good. It's on YouTube. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him even though you can. Anyway, enough ranting from me, friends. Let's just be nice to each other. Let's just have a great time. Let's just kick some fucking goals. Oh, this is actually going to count as 2 separate streams on my stream info. Fuck, that's annoying. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. yeah, look, it's so many people are great in the community. So many people, wonderful, wonderful people. Fantastic to be around. Fantastic, kind. Like everyone I met at Monty is just the fucking best. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Oh, that's all right. Absolutely the best. We've got an amazing community. So let's be part of continuing that. Continue to make it better. Sleepy, I do, but it's not really for competition, mate. Like, I've only ever really painted one thing, which was just for a competition. Most of the stuff I paint is just because I like painting. Now, this is the last guy, yeah? This is the last dude. So, next stream, which is on Wednesday night, will be just doing all the details. Zoom out for you a bit. You can see the guys, the crew. So we'll do all the details, all the little knickknacks and stuff, and call it a day. Bit of fun. And then we'll get started on Spiro Mirabilis on the weekend. I didn't, yeah. So did we have any other suggestions for the Wise Woman? Any other concepts for the next paint job? Did the Mars Copter. That's exciting. I love science. Let me grab you a picture of it, Sleepy. You're a rich girl and you've gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. It's a bitch girl. Yeah, the worm spat are so good. I'm going to probably buy them just so I can paint them at some point. That's the piece I did for Monty 2019. And I probably spent I reckon about 3 weeks on that, which is a long time for me. It's probably the most time I invested. Minium F, you have dialed into what I want to do. Great effort. I want to do a piece that references Natalia's version and pays homage to it, whilst not necessarily being a direct rip-off. So I'm gonna reflect on that and think about some ways I can do that. Yes, bit of see-through clothing there. Let me see if I can get you as a closer picture. It actually looks really good in the video. I think. Did I do a video on my? I think I did a video. Let me grab the video link. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. It's a bitch girl. I think the video really shows it off better. Twitch ban. I didn't dislike it. Like, it was good. it was good. Like I basically set myself the challenge of I went over to Monty the year before and I didn't do very well. I didn't get anything, but it was an amazing time and I was like not unhappy about that. But I remember thinking to myself, you know what? I want to see if I can do it. I want to see if I can put something that wins an award at this event. I wasn't sure at the time if I was good enough. So I set that goal, just like I write in my article. Thanks, Drumner. I just basically said, I want to try. I want to have a goal of winning an award at Monty, and I want to put in the effort to try and do that. So I really enjoyed it. Do I think it was fun the whole way through? Yeah, I had a lot of fun. There's something really nice about really investing yourself into something and really like pushing. And I think I got to the end of that and I understood a bit of the appeal about those guys who really do it purely for competition painting. You know, really try and go hard. Like I really enjoyed that experience, but I reached a point towards the end where I was like, oh man, the sort of stuff I'm doing now is just such minor stuff. Is anyone really going to notice this and stuff? So Sleepy, I won a silver medal in the Masters category at Scale Model Challenge. And I won a bronze in the Masters category at Monte Sansovino with that piece. It was one of the most humbling and satisfying and really just most it's a really hard feeling to describe, but I was standing on a stage with like my heroes. I might show you this photo because it just really made me feel not like I'd made it, not like I was like there, but just, you know, I felt like I'd earned, you know, that effort had been warranted and earned, and yeah, just made me feel really, you know, like just reinforced the same stuff I talk about all the time: hard work, effort, you know, lots of time. So this is a picture of how the fuck do I open up that? There we go. So this is a picture of me on stage at Monte Sansovino. The guy just to my right is Ben Comets. The guy just in front of me is Conrad Minot. The guy just to the right of me is Jakob Villian, Pascal Eggers, Richard Sharp, some other guys I don't know who are probably also awesome. I think that dude beside Ben can't remember his name. But yeah, that was at Monty, and that was like, you know, really, really awesome. But that was for the bronze, so that was a bronze at Monty, and I was chuffed about that. SMC was this photo, and this one was just crazy, because this one is like, I think I wrote at the time, this was like standing on stage with my heroes. That's Kaha to my right. I think it's not CHK to my left, it's some other dude. But there's Andy Wardle, Francesco Farabi, Mark Masklins, Ruben Martinez. That's just like, that was literally a stage of my heroes. It was really weird when I got back to my room after that, because I felt so elated. Hey Jan, and it was just there's I've told this story before. It's one of my favourite stories. There's an Australian ice skater. Yeah, Dennis. Yeah, he did. There's an Australian ice skater. His name's fucking what's the fuck's name? I can't remember his name. Stephen Bradbury. That's right, Bradbury. And he fucking won a gold medal. He won a gold medal, and he's a shit guy. He's just the worst. Ah, CHK. I was just talking about him. Oh, g'day, mate. So Bradbury. G'day, guys. Hello, friends. I've just been painting these guys today. But here's the thing about Bradbury, right? Thanks Bushido, he won himself a gold medal at the Olympics, and the reason he did it is because 3 people in front of him fell down, and literally won the gold medal because all 3 people in front of him fell down. Here's a photo I was just showing off when I won my medal at fucking SMC, and how chuffed I was. Is that you? Is that you standing right of me? It's not, is it? I don't think it is. It looks a little bit like you. Maybe it's not. A little bit like you. Isn't it? No. No, it's not. It is you! I thought it was you! Yeah! I said that before. I was like, is that CHK? Yes! It is! That's us side by side. We didn't even know. You're my hero. There you go. There's another whole lot of my heroes there. CHK, Carhart, Andy Wardle, Francesco, Mark Masklins, Ruben Martinez. Boom! How good. Anyway, so Stephen Bradbury. They said to him, mate, must feel a bit shit winning this gold medal. Must feel a bit shit winning this gold medal when everyone else fell down in front of you. And he said, I'm not taking this gold medal because of what happened today. I'm taking this gold medal because of what happened in the last 4 years when I've been busting my ass, going to training, putting in the hard effort, doing the hard work to get me to this stage. And that's why I'm going to take the gold medal, because I deserve it because of that effort, not because of what happened today. And I sort of feel like, that's the mindset. That's the right mindset to have. It doesn't really matter how you perform on the day at a competition. What matters is how you feel about the effort that you put in, and if you feel like you've done your best. And I did feel like I did my best that day, and I was chuffed, absolutely chuffed to win silver and stand next to my hero Tony from CHK Studio. So at some point soon, I am going to try and paint another piece for a competition. We've got QMHE coming up in August, which is what I'm going to try and get Camelot done for. But if we're lucky, Crystal Dragon will go ahead next year, and I will not be judging. That's the plan. I might end up judging. Yeah, we do need to have a beer together, mate. Absolutely. Thanks for the raid, by the way. Oh, fuck, let's do a shout-out. I'm good at shout-outs. I remember to do them all the time. There you go. How good is that? Fuck, what a moment. Oh, Christoph was on the stage as well. Christoph's head's behind Francesco. Fuck, it was good. My mum sent me a message, my dad sent me a message. It was very good. Well, I've only done it once, so I don't really know. Yeah, he's a specimen, eh? That's what he does in his... He owns a gym. He's a personal trainer in his spare time. He's a fucking unit. Yeah, I guess... For competition stuff, I just try to pick something that I want to paint, mate. Like, if you're going to be doing something for a long time, you want to at least be excited about it, same as always. Someone who paints more stuff for competitions might be able to tell you something better than me. I could take most of them in a fight, mate. I'd kick the shit out of Andy. Absolutely, no doubt about that. I wouldn't want to fight Gruber though. Wouldn't want to fight Gruber. He's fucking nuts. Yeah, just the reach, mate. He's got too much reach. Would I come to the UK? No, I love the UK. My girlfriend and I, when we travel, which we do travel a lot, we usually fly into London and spend a few days there. We both love London, one of my favourite places. I do prefer the Winsor & Newton Iron Ant, yes, and the first night I got my Raphaels, I remember talking about, I reckon I said the word snap about 60 times. It's the snap. So what I mean by that is, and I've got a Winsor & Newton here, which I can hopefully demonstrate on. So this is a Raphael brush, and if you watch when I put the tip down, see how it just goes slowly. Yeah, the spring back just goes slowly back into place. It's not as snappy. This is a Winsor & Newton, similar size. It just kicks back much quicker. And you really notice when you're painting just that feel. It changes the feel of the brush. That's the main reason I prefer the Winsor & Newtons. Nothing else really. And just so everyone know, CHK is the reason I bought these AK 3rd Gen. I went onto his stream one day and he was telling me how much he liked using them. So I thought I'll try them. So he's the reason I dropped $350. Thanks, mate. Where we're at the moment, I'm just happy I can get a brush that works. There's plenty of size comparisons on the interwebs, mate. Just be careful what you type into Google there, pal. Make sure you put the word paintbrush. Don't just write tip comparison. Size comparison. Well, they're the only ones I've been able to get that aren't just dog shit. The last fucking 5 or 6 Winsor & Newtons I got were just bad. I've got one up there that I think might be okay that I'm just holding on to for a rainy day. Just in case. That'll get me probably 3 months of painting. Don't you know that it's wrong? Take what is given you, so far gone on your own. been a good party Monday, friends. I've enjoyed myself tonight. I've enjoyed painting these models, actually. No stress, just fun little paint job. Feeling good about how the team's looking as a whole. Really good, really good. Yeah, don't go balls deep into the old Citadel brushes, mate. That is a trap for unwary punters right there. Yeah, I've got to say it is weird to be painting as much Games Workshop stuff as I have, because I went for a long time without painting anything at this scale. You sort of lose your muscle memory in some ways. You don't paint this scale and you forget how to paint the small details. But I've certainly felt more comfortable painting these guys than I did the Wood Elves. Maybe it's a different type of detail though. But yeah, they're nice to paint. G'day, Dead Sky 1. How are you, mate? That's good, buddy. This will sound weird, friends, but I'm actually I'm buzzing about just remembering that SMC experience. My girlfriend and I stayed at the venue, got a room there. It was glorious, and had a really nice time. Went out for dinner a couple of nights. It was good. It was good atmosphere at SMC. But yeah, I remember I trundled down to the hall the morning of awards ceremony day, and they just put stickers on there, say, oh, you've won an award or you haven't won anything or highly commended or whatever. And the previous year I'd gone overseas, I hadn't won anything, and I felt pretty similarly. I was like, wow, the quality feels like it's gone up even more this year, so I don't think I'm going to win anything. And then I saw my name, I saw my model with a little thing that said, you've won a medal. And I just remember I was pinging, absolutely pinging. And it was just because I'd competed against myself the previous year, and I'd done better, and I just felt like such satisfaction. Wow. Push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction. Satisfaction. I will check it out, mate. Thank you, Dead Sky. Yes, we're trundling along, although we're getting close to wrapping up for today's stream. Sorry to say to all those friends who've joined. Gonna play some Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven. G'day, How Clear 4514. Thank you for following, my friend. Push me, and then just touch me, so I can get my satisfaction. Satisfaction. Well, friends, next stream is Wednesday night. And we, barring an absolute disaster, should have some Camelot models to look at. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty exciting, I'm not going to lie. As I'm sure you all know, because you've been sitting here listening to me fucking ping about it for the last 3 months. That's a great question, Rob. I don't know. I'll probably do one of the scenes first. So I'll probably pick a scene to start with. I don't think it will be the Arthur scene. So that rules out Arthur, Mordred and Percival. Because that's probably the last one I want to do. And it's also got two of my favourite models from the whole thing. I don't think it will be the Galahad scene, which rules out Galahad and Sir Kay. So I think it's going to be probably the Lady of the Lake and Uther, or Guinevere and Lancelot will be the first scene I will start with. So that'll be that. But yeah, Wednesday night we'll finish off these friends. Hopefully, I'll get them. They'll be mostly done by then. I think we'll We've just got to do the bases and yeah, tweak a few things, bits and pieces, and yeah, we'll be done. So that's exciting. On the whole, I think they come out pretty neat, pretty neato. Let's just get a group friends, super friends shot. Awesome, mate. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, so they feel okay. I have tried to have some natural variation in the skin tones. Like I haven't tried to be too, this has to be the same colour as the others. But yeah, I like how it looks, this little warband. Good colours for vampires, right? Black, red and gold, can't go wrong. But yeah, there's probably, I could keep fucking around with these guys for ages. They're fucking great models. But no, I think we'll try and finish on Wednesday and then move on. Yep, so let's just quickly run through the plan. So with Camelot, yeah, we are going to stream the whole thing that isn't base related. So I'm going to stream the painting of the models. I might caveat that and say that I'm just going to paint, and I'm probably going to paint stuff when I'm off stream, because the one thing that I'll need to keep going with this project is just keep the energy progressing, because it's going to take a long time. And if I'm artificially stalling myself to wait for when I'm on stream next, I feel like that could be an inhibitor to my overall output. So yeah, we'll probably aim to stream most of it. There may be one or two models that don't get on stream because I'm working on them separately. There may be elements that don't go on stream because I'll finish things off. But overall, I think we'll try and do most of the model painting. The diorama building, probably none of it. I don't even think I could fit it on the desk. When knights of the round table, we dance whenever we're able. Da, 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 da. Let's not go to Camelot, it's a silly place. And speaking of silly places, let's find someone to raid. Yeah, look, I think it should be the make or break of my Twitch channel. It may be the thing that makes me stop streaming. Or it may be the thing that makes me, yeah, I can do this, this is fun. Because it's a huge project. Huge project. Hey, we're going to raid Phoenix today. We haven't raided Phoenix in a while, and he's a great man. He's painting a barbarian from Limbo. I dig it. Raid the Phoenix. We shall raid Phoenix. Raid. Hey friends, well, I had a great stream tonight. It's a beautiful party Monday, and you're all amazing. Thank you for being champions. Let's keep kicking goals. Don't be fuckwits to each other. See you on Wednesday night.
How are you, mate? Welcome in, Raiders. Feel free to say hello or lurk. Whatever works. Oogly. Oogly. You right, mate? How are you? How is everyone? In motion. Cheers, mate. Yeah, it's kind of terrifying, to be honest with you. No one at school, so we did a small background as well while I was shot. Yeah, that is a bit odd, isn't it? Joski now, welcome in.